happy Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Le Champions. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Kurt Cadet, and he is...
This is tag team partner, none other than Jonathan Randall. Ladies and gentlemen, rolled out that red carpet, man. It's going to be a long one because we're still on the road to WrestleMania, and oh my God, I cannot wait. That's right, yours truly is going to WrestleMania, less than a month away. And it took me a while for me to get my hotel room, though, but I got it. I'm booked. I can't wait. So much has been going on in the wrestling world, not just in the WWE, but also AEW.
Yes, it has been a crazy weekend. We're coming off the AEW Revolution pay-per-view that took place from San Francisco, and it was a pretty wild and eventful show, to say the least. So let's run down the results real fast of this crazy-ass show. So in the opening match, we had Ricky Starks defeating Chris Jericho. Big win for the dude. He's really on his way now, for sure. I could see him as a title contender by the end of the year, or even sooner.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a match with MJF on Dynamite a few months ago. I mean, obviously he didn't win, but you could definitely tell after that match that he was going to be somebody who would be like in that mix going forward.
Feel you.
And that win over Jericho kind of further established that, so we'll see where he goes from there.
So he needed his win.
Yes, he did. And we also had Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeat Christian in kind of what was pretty much a casket match. The casket match was sitting like on the stage instead of like at ringside, so they fought all the way to the casket eventually.
Yeah. I saw that. It was a bit it was a bit weird, but it is something different, but it is what it is.
Yes, that was kind of different, but I did like the way the match ended. Jungle Boy finally hit Christian with a concerto, which Christian had done to him multiple times in the feud leading up to this. And then he put him in the casket, shut the lid, and the casket actually dropped down on the floor after he shut it.
Wow.
That was pretty cool, actually. A nice touch.
I think that was like the perfect match and the perfect way to end that feud, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. They've been feuding since pretty much last summer, and then they were going to wrestle at All Out, but then Christian's arm was hurt, so they had like a short bullshit match, and then Christian just got cleared a couple weeks ago, so now they finally did it, and it paid off well.
Good.
And also, we had the Trios Tag Team title match between House of Black and the Elite. The match was pretty crazy. It was pretty dope. But ultimately, in the end, the House of Black won the Trios Tag Team titles.
Yeah, good for them, though.
Bit of an upset, but I was happy it happened, too.
Yeah.
So Malachi Black finally won a title outside of NXT. Very happy for him.
Good. I like the group picture they took with the belts after the match.
Yeah, it's a good look because House of Black kind of like doesn't get as much TV time as they deserve.
No, with that type of gimmick and presence that they bring to the ring, you're surprised that hey, how come these guys are not really getting the time that they deserve? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But it finally happened here. They finally got their chance, and hopefully they'll be on TV more going forward, and they further build momentum.
Oh, yeah, they will. With them holding the trio tag belts, oh, yeah.
And I think Kenny Omega is going to do solo stuff from now on.
Okay.
That'll be cool to see. And also we had the triple threat for the AEW Women's title as Jamie Hayter defended against Saraya as well as Ruby Soho. And Jamie Hayter ultimately retained by rolling up Ruby Soho into like a creative pin. But after the match, she was attacked by Saraya and Toni Storm. And then Ruby Soho threw Toni Storm and Saraya out of the ring and then helped up Jamie Hayter and acted like she was raising her hand. But as she was raising her hand, she hit her with her finisher, pretty much laid her out and showed that she was officially joining the stable with Saraya and Toni Storm. All former WWE girls, by the way.
Wow.
So now they have a stable where like the former WWE girls and they feel like they're better than the AEW girls. And yeah, that's pretty much the direction they're going in now.
Wow. What a shocking turn of events, though.
Definitely. Well, I kind of saw it coming. You kind of see like it building for the last few weeks, so finally happened here. And then we had a Texas death match, even though they were in California.
But still, but don't you think this match will be is Hangman Adam Page's gimmick, though? You know what I mean? But
that's what I was gonna say. He's from freaking Virginia. He's not from Texas.
Yeah, I know though, but I'm just saying because of the cowboy gimmick and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But coming out to the ring, dude, a new theme entrance for Adam Page called Ghost Riders in the Sky. That's a very interesting name.
Yeah, it was different. I wasn't expecting it, but it was cool. So it was him against John Moxley. They've been feuding for the last few months, ever since Moxley knocked out Hangman a couple months ago and gave him a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
So they've traded wins up until this match, and this match was super freaking violent. Holy shit.
Wow. This was like, could you say like close to ECW level violence, Kurt?
Pretty much, yeah. This is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I remember one spot where Hangman knocked Moxley off the apron onto the floor, and Moxley didn't realize until after that he fell onto the table with the barbed wire on it.
Dude, I think one of the most brutal spots that I saw in that match is when I believe it looked like Moxley had Adam Page like in a triangle chokehold, and I don't know what he was holding on his hand. In his hand looked like Mox was holding like a fork.
Oh yeah, he stabbed him with the fork. Yeah, he stabbed him with the fork.
Yeah, he kept going in it, like stabbing him with the fork on that open wound on the head of Adam Page. Man, it was so brutal, dude. A fork. Oh.
Yeah, that's like some Abdullah the Butcher type shit. And if you look at that dude's face now, shit.
Yeah. Sheesh.
But Hangman ultimately got the win by by throwing Jon Moxley over the rope while a chain was wrapped around his neck, and Moxley actually tapped out.
Yeah, that was I saw the sequence of it, and I saw just the photo itself. You could just see like I don't want to say fear, Kurt, but you could just see that look of desperation on the face of Moxley when he was like choked. When he had that chain wrapped around his neck, being choked from the inside of from the outside by Adam Page. But man, that was just a brutal match. You already know this could be nominated for Match of the Year. Not just for AEW though. This will also be nominated for PWI.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the better death matches, like violent type matches that I've seen in a while. I liked it.
Yeah.
So Hangman Adam Page wins, and I have a feeling Jon Moxley is going to be turning heel soon.
I can see it.
It's funny. He sent out a text to Renee Paquette saying like, "You want to fuck?"
After the match. What the fuck?
Like, it's like a day or two later, like Renee Paquette put up a screenshot of like Jon Moxley's texting her, "You want to fuck?" And she's like, "This is my husband, ladies and gentlemen."
Wow. Oh my god.
Also, the Bellas were backstage at Revolution. Also, I don't know if you saw the pictures, but they were backstage there too.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, they were there with like Paige, Renee Paquette, also Dustin Rhodes. I'll take a picture with him. I'll take a picture together.
Wow. Crazy.
I guess they really aren't on good terms with WWE right now.
No, apparently not. Nope.
For the TNT Championship, we had Samoa Joe defending against Wardlow. And I wasn't surprised that Wardlow ended up winning his belt back, but I was surprised at the way he won it, as he won the match by choking out Samoa Joe with his own move.
I mean, you think justice was served? I mean, I don't know what to say.
The match was fine. I'm happy for Wardlow, but the only thing is he's cooled off a lot since like this time last year.
Yeah, but don't you think this win could just give him back that momentum, though?
I hope so. I really hope they do right by him with this title reign, because his last title reign with the TNT belt, yeah, there was like certain weeks where he wouldn't even be on TV.
I could, you know what, Kurt? I could blame that with all the overuse of just the overcrowdedness of the talent that they have on the roster.
Even Jade Cargill like put out a tweet and then deleted it afterwards, saying how like they're dropping the bag, like referring to her.
Wow.
Yeah, she hasn't been on TV in a few weeks either. And Keith Lee apparently is like doing some like magic gimmick or some shit now, like he's dressed like a magician.
Yeah, I saw that. It was weird. It looked that was so weird. I saw a picture of that.
I love AEW, but they've really botched the shit out of Keith Lee so far.
Yeah, and here we are. We're complaining about how WWE, the main roster, was using him. So
they both did wrong by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So Wardlow's the new TNT champion, and then up next we had a 4-way for the AEW tag titles. It was the Guns, Billy Gunn's two sons, against the Acclaimed, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
Danhausen.
Yeah, and the Guns ended up picking up the win and retaining the titles, which I kind of expected to happen because they just got the belts like a month or so ago. And after the match, they were gloating and celebrating and talking all this shit. And then all of a sudden, FTR's music hits. FTR hadn't been seen in a few months, so it was like a shocking return. So they came out, confronted the Guns, and ran their asses out of there. And it looks like FTR are back, and supposedly they've signed new deals with AEW.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Dax Harwood apparently was like putting out tweets the last few weeks, complaining about like what AEW is doing with them and like not using them enough and not like doing right by them. But I guess looking at this now, I guess that was all just for show.
I feel you. I feel you.
And then in the main events, we had a 60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW Championship as MJF, the biggest scumbag fuck on the planet, defended his title against Bryan Danielson.
Damn.
Bro, am I lying?
No, you're not lying, but oh man, I know you're gonna be happy as hell when he drops that title, aren't you? You're gonna celebrate, aren't you?
I don't hate him that much, but I'm just saying as a character, like he's despicable. A few weeks ago on a promo, he was talking about how like one time he got into a car accident with a girl and he was drinking, and then as he heard the police coming, he was like really, really desperate and had to act back, so he ended up switching places with the girl so he wouldn't get in trouble.
Are you freaking? The hell low down kind of crap is that?
Yeah, he legit said that in a promo a couple weeks ago. I'm not joking.
Good Lord.
And he talks about banging hood rats and all this other kind of shit.
I can't. Wow.
But a great promo, though. All that bullshit aside, a great promo.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to as a heel.
And also, after this match, he proved any naysayers wrong with the performance he put on, because a lot of people criticize MJF about, just being like a good character, not really good in the ring. And he's like all talk, etc. But in this match, he definitely earned his stripes.
We get that sometimes, like no offense, like look, I'm not saying like The Rock. I mean, not saying that Rock was a bad wrestler though, but it was like he was mostly known for talking in the ring, catchphrases. But when he got in the ring, we just didn't really see like a whole lot as far as like a technical wrestling standpoint. Same thing with John Cena. But yeah, we get that a lot though.
Yeah, but in this match, he delivered. They both delivered, actually. This match, I have to say, this is one of the best Iron Man matches I've ever seen, and I'm not playing when I say that.
Not only that, I can't even get over MJF's entrance.
Yeah, his entrance was dope. He was wearing that mask over his face that he wore at All Out when he won the ladder match. I like his theme music too. His theme music is fire.
Yeah, I like how they had the orchestra. It kind of brings me back to middle school because I used to play the violin too. So.
Oh, good shit! I used to be actually in chorus in high school. I was in the chorus.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, but MJF at one point in the match, he was like kind of stalling for the first few minutes, and then at one point he went into the audience, and as he was in the audience, he took a cup and like threw it in the little kid's face, and come to find out that cup had tequila in it, and also that was not planned. It's a part of the show.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that was
like you said before we went on the air. You said that he needs to tone that down, man, because sooner or later that's going to backfire on him.
Yeah, shit got crazy. They both bled, especially MJF. MJF actually bled by getting hit with a diving headbutt by Bryan Danielson.
Oh,
yeah, he bled a gusher, bro. He bled a gusher.
I know. He bled more than Daniel Bryan. Oh, man.
It's so funny. Daniel Bryan said one of the reasons why he left WWE is because he wanted to bleed again in matches.
Do you blame him? I mean, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. And then, he even told that to Vince. He told that to Vince himself. He's like, yo, honestly, the reason why I want to go work at other places is because I want to bleed. And I know I can't do that here.
Yeah.
He got his wish in this match.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well deserved.
But the thing I liked about this Iron Man match, it didn't feel like 60 minutes.
No?
It was 60 minutes, but it did not feel like 60 minutes. I felt like, it was paced very well.
You kind of it just went by so fast.
It was paced very well. It didn't feel like it dragged or anything. So yeah, it was a 60-minute match, but it didn't feel like 60 minutes. It felt like, I guess a little shorter in a sense. It was to the point where I didn't want it to end. Let's put it that way.
I see what you mean.
And then ultimately it comes down to the wire. They're tied at 3 falls apiece. And as Bryan Danielson has MJF in the Hurt Lock, the clock is running down, and as the clock hits 0, it ends up being a draw. But as Tony Schiavone was on commentary, he said, hold on 1 second. He's getting somebody telling him something, which was Tony Khan, come to find out. And then Tony Schiavone makes the announcement that the match is going to go to sudden death overtime.
Oh, wow.
I think the first time since the Shawn and Brett one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I was kind of no sudden death. But yeah, I mean.
I'm sorry. Charlotte and Sasha at Roadblock 2016, but that was a 30-minute match.
Got you.
But in any event, yes, it goes to overtime. And actually, there was one point where they were trying to get Danielson and MJF like out on stretchers. They brought like the oxygen tank out and everything for MJF. And as the referee's distracted, MJF hits Danielson with the oxygen tank, puts him in the bell lock, and you think it's going to be over. And the referee raises Bryan Danielson's hand 3 times, and as the 3rd time, you really think he's going to lose. But Danielson surprisingly keeps his hand up. But MJF won't let go of the hold. He still keeps Danielson in it. And then eventually, Danielson, to everyone's surprise, ends up tapping out. And MJF retains the AEW championship.
Wow.
And by far the best performance of his career, best match of his career.
For MJF?
Yeah. Bryan Danielson had a great outing also. This was also great for him. But I think this match did for MJF what the Street Fight did for Triple H at the 2000 Royal Rumble.
I feel you on that. You have to have that one match to define, especially when you're a champion, when you're defending title reign. So,
and especially when people doubt you as an in-ring competitor and doubt your heart and doubt your toughness, he definitely put all those doubts to bed for good after this match.
I feel you on that. Yeah.
Whether you're a fan of the dude or not, you have to give credit where it's due.
Absolutely. But I wanted to ask you this, okay? What do you think is AEW's WrestleMania? Is it Revolution, Full Gear, All Out, or Double or Nothing?
Double or Nothing, because that was their first real pay-per-view. But the first beginning of AEW.
I feel you. And speaking of that, I just found out Double or Nothing is going to be back in Vegas in May.
Maybe I'll come for that weekend. I'll check the prices.
Yeah. I think you're going to be here for 3 nights. You're going to be here for Dynamite, Double or Nothing, and
Rampage that nobody watches.
Yeah,
but it was a good show overall. Great main event. And MJF, I think it's keeping that title for a long time. It's going to be a while before he drops that belt.
I feel you on that.
And I have a feeling his next challenger is going to be Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, I think it's about to be a year pretty soon, but yeah, I think Adam Page needs to get back in the title hunt for that. And after that performance with Jon Moxley, this will be a stepping stone, and for him to get back in the title hunt will be perfect. So I love to see that.
Yeah, it'd be dope. And I'm also hearing rumors that Kenny Omega might go to WWE when his contract's up.
Oh wow, when is his contract up?
I think another year or so.
Okay.
And also MJF's contract comes up next year too, and he's supposedly already telling people in WWE that I can't wait to see you guys there next year.
Next year.
I mean, he could be bullshit.
Do you think? True though. But let's say if he were to leave, it's very obvious. It'll be perfect sense to keep the title on him until then. Correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think he will leave per se. I feel like if he goes to WWE, his character is going to get very watered down. But who knows? Who knows?
Oh man.
Okay, so that was AEW Revolution. Great show. And despite the fact that the show didn't really have the best build, they definitely delivered where it mattered most. And goes to show you what AEW is capable of.
True. Delivering on the pay-per-views is always a good thing.
And we have some upcoming pay-per-views in the next few months. And most of these pay-per-views are actually going to be out of the U.S. So it was announced today that Backlash is going to be on May 6th in Puerto Rico. And the host of the show is going to be Bad Bunny.
Yes, for the first time since 2005, Kurt. And Kurt, that crowd, okay, that crowd in Puerto Rico back in 2005 for New Year's Revolution, they were in it. That was a rabid crowd. So, and I've always said to myself, when they're ever going to get a pay-per-view again, you know what I mean? And their wish came true. My wish came true. So yeah, in May,
May
6th. Backlash will be in Puerto Rico, and Bad Bunny is going to be hosting it, so I'm excited to hear it. And
I was hearing things about this, Bad Bunny was going to be involved with them again. So I guess this is what they're doing, and I like it though. It's a good idea. And also, they took away the WrestleMania Backlash title from it. They're not going to call it that anymore.
Yeah, thank you, man. I was it didn't make any sense to call it that. Just call it Backlash. I like how they're going back to it, to its original name. So, what if let's hope they bring back the hooks, remember?
Yeah, that would be dope. And also
that would be so
And
dope.
Also it was announced a few days ago that the King of the Ring pay-per-view will be coming back, and it will be coming back on May 27th in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to come back. I was a bit surprised they were having it in Saudi Arabia. I was hoping they would have the show in the States, though, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they're having it in Saudi Arabia, and they're also going to have the Queen's Crown tournament in that too.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It's so weird they're having the Queen's Crown tournament in a place that like notoriously discriminates against women.
Yeah, again, I was surprised that they're having a show there. I was just hoping that the show will be in the States, but
You know they got to do their 2 shows there a year, bro.
I know, but it's usually just a Crown Jewel pay per view. But I mean, not having like the actual King of the Ring there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that sweet Saudi money isn't gonna come easily, bro. And they gotta do shit to get that
I
money.
I know. uh,
Yes, but we are also on the road to WrestleMania. It's about 3.5 weeks away. And we had a very eventful Raw this past Monday,
oh my God. Oh.
as several matches were made official for WrestleMania, which included a
Mhm.
great segment between John Cena and Austin Theory.
Oh, bodied,
Yeah, John Cena ate that kid alive, bro. That shit, you needed to call an
dude,
ambulance after that promo.
bro. And it's funny how you always have that younger talent. We see this all the time. We always have that younger talent who wants to shoot off at the veteran. And that's pretty much what Austin Theory was doing to John Cena. Pretty much talking about like you're my hero. You're not the same. What happened to you? You even have a bald spot going on.
He was like saying, "You need to get out of my ring," and then Austin Theory was like, "I'm not going anywhere, just like your bald spot." That shit was harsh.
Yeah, but you can't go toe to toe with John Cena in a promo.
Even The Rock got flustered in a promo with Cena once.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
Yeah, Cena ate that kid alive. He was like, "Yo, you don't have it in your head, you don't have it in your heart, and you don't have it down there either." Then he touched his dick and saying, "And you know what? I think you need extra work down there too."
Oh. Oh man, I tell you what, man. Let me ask you this: are you surprised that because you said this a couple weeks ago? You said that they don't need the title means nothing, but surprisingly, I think we both got fooled, Kurt. If I'm being honest, that the match is for the United States Championship. I didn't see that coming. I know you didn't see that coming either.
I mean, after Theory won at Elimination Chamber, I figured it was going to go down that way because Theory's not going to go into WrestleMania with the U.S. title and not defend it.
True.
I don't think this match necessarily needs the title, but it is what it is.
That's what I was saying because you stated that it doesn't need a title, and I was like, I agree, but yet they're putting the title on the line. We both fooled each other. We both got fooled, but it is what it is, though. But hey, and you know what? Here's another interesting fact, Kurt.
Hmm.
WrestleMania is going to be in California, correct?
Yes, it will be.
Yes. This will be the third time, the three times that John Cena has competed at a WrestleMania in the state of California were all title matches.
Where he won.
Yeah. WrestleMania 21 was for the WWE title. WrestleMania 31 was for the US title. And now, almost less than a month away, again, it will be another title match. WrestleMania in the state of California.
Yes, and even when Cena came out, he got kind of emotional. If you really noticed.
Oh yeah, you can't blame him, dude. I mean, bro. I've said this so many times, man. I speak on behalf of everybody else. I think we kind of. I don't say we really took his time for granted. We kind of just like, wow, like it went by so fast. If I'm being honest, John Cena's time here to WWE. You know what I mean? And when he left, it's just like I can't believe he's gone. And then you're like, damn, I miss him. Even though if you love him or if you hated him or you just were annoyed by him, you got to respect what he did. And then when he's gone, you just like, you know what? I miss you. You know what I mean? Like, damn it.
Even if he's not your favorite, you definitely still feel his absence. And I'm starting to get the
Yeah.
vibe now that this might be his last match.
Hmm.
Whatchamacallit, after the promo, Cena came out and introduced Cody Rhodes, and he gave him a hug and like raised his hand, and I kind of felt like a passing of the torch from Cena to Cody, and like even I think Cody was even like whispering to him, saying like I hope we get to do a match together one day, and Cena was like, I don't know, man, I don't know if I have that many left in me.
I feel you.
Damn. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that Cena's really gonna start winding down. I think this might be one of his last matches or his last match possibly.
I feel you. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, I know we're talking about Raw, but I want to take it back to SmackDown this past Friday. What did you think of that first face-to-face encounter between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes in that promo?
It was good. I liked it. I liked the part when like Roman was like doing the Dusty impression, and he was like saying how Dusty told him he had the it factor and all that, and then he said, "You know what your dad used to say about you? Nothing."
Yeah. Again, going personal
Damn,
again. Going
damn.
personal.
I think there's a lot more they could work with in the next few weeks leading up to Mania besides the Dusty stuff. I mean, they could still use it, but there's a lot more they could dig into in the next few weeks.
True. That is true.
Like Roman could mention how like Cody left for a few years and then ended up crawling back, and then Cody could mention how like it took Roman years to like finally click after all those years he was being forced down people's throats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be a fun. Yeah, I liked how that went, and also Roman gave Jimmy Uso like an ultimatum, saying if Jey Uso isn't back, Bloodline within a week or so by next Friday SmackDown, then he's gonna hold Jimmy Uso responsible for it.
Holy crap.
And then that would lead into Monday Night Raw as Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens had a match to start the show, and then as Kevin Owens was being attacked by Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn came out to make the save for him. And even after that, Kevin Owens is like kind of like still trying not to, have anything to do with Sami Zayn. He like still doesn't trust him, and he's feel. And despite like Sami Zayn pleading with him, saying that we can like beat them together, we'll be stronger together, Kevin Owens was like saying, "Yo, I'm not having it. Like you do whatever you want. If anything, you should actually beg Roman to take you back."
Uh, I mean, you know what they're doing. I mean, they're just they're creating a storyline. We all know what's going to happen, though. But I like it.
Yeah, it's been one of the most compelling stories on the show, and then it would eventually lead to the final segment on Raw where Jimmy Uso wrestled Sami Zayn. But as the match is going on, you can see Jey Uso coming out from the audience, and as Jimmy Uso is distracted, he ends up getting pinned by Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn wins. And then Jey Uso comes into the ring to confront Jimmy, and then like he just kind of like walks past him, and then he goes outside to like give Sammy a hug, and the crowd like goes crazy. He raises his hand, but I could tell that there was a bit of a pause. So like by that point, I kind of had a feeling something was gonna happen, and I turned out to be right as Jey Uso kicked Sami Zayn in the face.
Oh man.
Damn, this was worse than when Nino Brown killed G Money in New Jack City.
Do you remember the words that Jay said to Sami Zayn though? Like this is
He's like, "You
family
think I
shit. Like you think I was gonna
choose you over the family? No freaking way."
just the look that evil smile by Jimmy though. It's just like, oh my god, this is you know what, man? Like I'm really trying to take your side now because um at first I was like, I don't know what's gonna be the main event for night one for WrestleMania. Because at first I was saying Rhea and Charlotte, but I haven't seen much from them. I know it's too soon to say it because we're less than a month away, but I just haven't seen much from the storytelling of between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. So after what I saw on Monday, I'm kind of like, you know what? I think this tag match between the Usos and Sami Zayn and then Kevin Owens, eventually, I feel like that's going to be the main event for night one.
Yeah, I feel like it's going in that direction because like yo, this whole thing has been like in main event segments like every week, and Charlotte and Rhea haven't been.
I know, and I mean, usually they'll be building something up then and there with them, but I don't know, man. I haven't seen much from it. No offense. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to the match. I am, but I just really haven't seen much of it.
Yeah, but then after Jay turned on Sammy, he threw him back into the ring, and then Jay, Jimmy, and Solo Sikoa like all triple team Sammy, and then Cody Rhodes ends up coming out,
Yeah,
and then he runs into the ring, and then the bloodline back off, and then he helps up Sammy as the show goes off the air, and now I'm starting to feel like Cody Rhodes is gonna be the one to like make peace between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
yeah.
Because like now they're all up against the bloodline, so it would make sense if they all united together.
Mm-hmm.
I would not mind going to a house show to see that as a 6-man tag. The Cody, Sammy, and Kevin Owens against the
I
Bloodline and Roman.
just you just read my damn mind. I literally just pictured that in my mind. Like that's so perfect to do it. You have Cody, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. versus the Usos and Sokoa.
Or the Usos and Roman if Roman wants to work a house show.
True. Hell, I would not mind that either.
So things are heating up in that feud, and also it was made official on Monday that we're gonna have a 6-woman tag featuring Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch against all 3 members of Damage Control.
I like it. Oh my god, I can't wait. Get to see Trish Stratus and Lita for fall.
The thing, I don't know what they're gonna do with the tag titles though. I guess they're not gonna defend them, or maybe they'll do this match on one night and maybe do a tag title match on the next night.
That's what I thought.
Because they were saying like Ronda and Shayna Baszler won the tag titles, so I figured they would maybe implement them into like a 3-way or something. But supposedly Ronda's hurt. Supposedly Ronda's injured.
Oh man.
Man, what a disappointing year it turned out to be for her, unfortunately.
I know. Oh, you know what? Because it's funny that we're talking about the card. Okay. Now I know this story was about a couple weeks old though, but I want to get into it and chat you up with this, Kurt. So, Triple H he doesn't want to have too many matches on the card. He wants to have that quality over quantity. He doesn't want, you can't have everybody involved in the event. You know what I mean? So I want to pick your brain and what's your take on that news being broken a couple weeks ago?
I'm fine with it personally. I mean, I feel for the talent that are going to be left out. I feel bad for them, but I've always maintained that, loading up these cards so much and trying to include so many people, it's nice and all, but honestly, it does hurt the show.
It does, because, we complain about how long the show was and just having so much talent, it really just, I don't know, it kind of is just a lot of fluctuation with it, man. And it just really just, you want to have like a lot of good quality matches, you know what I mean? And look, I do feel for the roster, but look, man, it wasn't always like this. You either make it or you can't, you know what I mean? So it is unfortunate though, but at the same time, it's your biggest show of the year. You want to make it perfect.
Yeah, and I'm hearing some talent is actually unhappy with this decision. I mean, I understandably so.
I know, but I mean,
it's a paycheck. It's like it's the biggest paycheck of the year, and they're not gonna get it. So I get it. I get why they would be upset.
True.
But to be honest, most of the talent that I was hearing is like super upset about this. Is like talent that is like not really in major storylines, and like people you pretty much haven't seen on TV in months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel for them, but I am an advocate for quality over quantity.
True.
Because WrestleMania 21 and like WrestleMania 28 and 31, they only had like 7-8 matches, but the thing was with having that amount of matches, the show doesn't drag, it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's a healthy balance.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Yeah, because like WrestleMania 5, WrestleMania 6, WrestleMania 7 is like 14 matches, and that shit dragged.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to see that they're changing things, and also it's funny. Back to the 6-woman tag. This is only going to be Lita's second WrestleMania match.
I know, in 21 years. I posted that on Twitter. It's been 21 years. I'm like that. I was like, oh.
For as long as she's been around, she only wrestled at one WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I know she was in Christy Hemi's corner for WrestleMania though. But I want to say like it baffles me.
That was actually supposed to be her in that match against Trish, but she was hurt, so they replaced her with Christy Hemme.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Crazy would have gotten that match at Mania that year. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but this should be interesting. But Lita and Trish don't age for shit.
Dude, they still look good.
Fuck me,
they're still in shape. Still in top shape, dude. It's like they haven't. It's like, oh my god, is it 2002 all over again? Nothing's changed.
And Trish had 2 kids already too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, she's slaying that shit. Good for her. Good for both of them.
Yeah.
Lita was actually all over the Chyna documentary, which I'll get into in a few minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, the A&E documentaries. I was watching.
Yeah.
I'll get into them in a few minutes. So, also on SmackDown this past Friday, it was announced that there's going to be like a multiple person match to decide the number 1 contender for the IC title at Mania, which is going to feature Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Kofi, Xavier, LA Knight, and Karrion Kross. But I think Kofi Kingston might not be in the match anymore, as it was found out that he was injured, and he even put up a picture of his injured ankle confirming it.
Oh man. Any word of when Big E's gonna come back?
Not yet. I think this week is 1 year since he got hurt. Now that I think about it, I think this week is like a year anniversary.
Wow.
Crazy! I can't believe he's been gone a year. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. I know because I saw a video of him. This was when he was in NXT. It was him maxing out. He was bench pressing, and John Cena, Roman Reigns, and the other NXT talent was in the weight room with him. And I was like, oh man, I was like, what is? I was like, I wonder what's been going on with him lately. I haven't heard much from him. I know he's been rehabbing though, but I was like, I wonder when he's going to come back.
Hopefully, he's healthy enough to come back at some point. And Kofi is looking like he more than likely might miss this match and probably WrestleMania too, which is very unfortunate. But that match looks interesting. I just hope it comes. I just hope Drew and Sheamus come out as like the double winners in a sense, and they both put into the match with Gunther, and it's a triple threat.
Yeah.
Do you think Gunther, like in a way, is like the Ivan Drago of WWE in a sense?
No, bro. When I think of that's Lesnar has written all over it. I like your comparison. I don't get me wrong. I see where you're going with it, bro. But when I think of Batista was the one who made that reference, and I see
Yeah, I
it.
know.
I look at the strength, the size, the intimidation. That is an easy comparison to Brock Lesnar. When I think of, if I want to compare a wrestler to Ivan Drago, it has Brock Lesnar written all over it.
Yes, I just feel for the depression Ivan Drago fell into after that fight in Rocky IV. Because I was watching Creed 2 yesterday, and yeah, it sucked. Like the whole country turned on him. His wife left him, and yeah, he was looked at as a disgrace.
Oh man, yeah. You have to watch the director's cut
Of Creed 2 or oh no, Rocky IV.
of Rocky Four.
I will at some point. I'll get to it.
Yeah, because there's a couple of scenes, especially towards the end, where you kind of like, oh, it does relate to the Creed 2 story. Um, because there's a scene. Remember when Rocky had that speech and everybody's clapping?
Yeah, where he says like, if I can change, you can
So
change. Everybody can change. Yeah, right.
yeah, the Russian concierge or whatever was clapping, but in the director's cut, they're not clapping; they're leaving.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you got to watch that.
Actually, I like the original version better. I like that they all stood up and clapped for him at the end.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was the whole thing of the whole fight is that like, he went in as like the person they didn't like and as like the outsider, and then as the fight goes
Mhm.
on, he ends up winning everybody over. I love that part of the
Yeah,
story for that one.
me too.
But anyway, back to wrestling. Yeah, I just really hope it's Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre in a three-way, or they could do one match on night one and another match on night two.
Mm,
Good either way.
yeah.
Yeah, so the Mania card is starting to shape up. A few matches were made official, and I think on Raw Monday, Edge and Finn Balor is going to be made official as Edge challenged Finn Balor to a confrontation on this coming Monday's Raw. And I think, yeah, it might be even a Hell in a Cell because I remember those rumors were spreading that they were going to have one at Royal Rumble, but Edge was busy filming something.
Hell in
So
a Cell. I thought it was just going to be a cage match.
I'm good either way. I don't think that feud is that intense to be a Hell in a Cell match, although it's been going on a long time. But
That's what I'm saying. Do a cage match, but not a Hell in a Cell.
I would have rather seen Brock and Bobby Lashley in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that because they literally had to screw up the whole storyline. I said this on our Twitter page on at the Champs Clash, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow us on Twitter. That feud between Lesnar and Lashley at Elimination Chamber was not over, and we all knew that. Even though when Bray Wyatt came out and said that he wanted to face the winner between Lesnar or and Lashley. Okay, so the finish of the match, we knew it wasn't over. So instead of finishing the storyline, they literally had to split the whole storyline and end it then and there. And now you have Bray Wyatt going on, who's going to challenge Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, and now they're going to do Brock Lesnar versus Omos. So the whole thing is just so confusing, and it was just so weird and not done, and it poorly planned. Oh,
I've been hearing stories. Supposedly, it was Vince's like push to get the Brock Lesnar and Omos
I
match
know.
to happen.
I know. It was like no wonder.
Triple H has
Jesus.
final say, but I guess maybe he threw Vince a bone in this sense.
Oh,
And this Lashley and Bray Wyatt feud is not really looking that good, honestly.
it's not. It's just it. I don't know, man. I don't know if because it's the Bray Wyatt character is not really the same how it used to be, or just the storyline itself, or I'm just not feeling it a little bit.
Because with Bray Wyatt, nothing ever really happens. He comes out, he does a promo, or does some kind of spooky shit, but like nothing really ever happens.
It's not, bro. If this was like 2013, 2014, then yeah,
I don't know. He's like good at the character, but I don't know. Just something's not clicking right now. I don't know what it is, but just something's not clicking.
that's not clicking, and the storyline is not clicking. They should have never ended the Lesnar and Lashley storyline.
I was
That
also
was not over.
I was also hearing that Brock was pitched the idea of going against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, but he rejected it.
Hmm.
I mean, I could see why, because I guess he's like been watching the stuff he's been doing on TV lately, and he's like, yeah, I want no parts of this shit.
Um,
And also, I don't think their styles would mesh well. I don't know if their styles would like be a good match.
yeah, yeah, you're right. It just, yeah.
Bernie, that match was
I
supposed to
mean,
happen at WrestleMania 32.
yeah, I know. That's what I was about to get into. They were playing that off because they had. I remember it started at the Royal Rumble, and I was like, "Oh, are you gonna do a match?" But it never happened. But
Yeah, and also I've been hearing that Brock Lesnar might be retiring soon.
yeah, I heard that too.
Because supposedly he was at Raw last week, like saying his like final goodbyes and like doing stuff along those lines. And it's funny, in the last year or so, he's only won one match.
Hmm.
The only match he's won like in the last year or so was the match against Lashley at Crown Jewel.
Wow, you're right because the rest of the matches were against Roman.
Roman, yeah, he lost to Roman multiple times.
Yeah. Huh.
And maybe since like Vince isn't in charge anymore, maybe he's not as into it or like not feeling it as much. So might
I
be
feel it.
possible that he might want to leave for those reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince was backstage at Raw last Monday.
Oh, it was.
I don't know if you heard. Yeah, he was backstage at Raw, and he has a mustache now. Apparently, I think I saw a picture of him.
I
Yeah, he has a
thought that
mustache.
was fake. I thought that was fake. I ain't gonna lie, Kurt. I thought that was fake. I thought it was like Photoshop. I was like Photoshop or something. I was like, he has a mustache. No. I'm
Yeah,
not saying it looks bad on him, but I was just surprised. I thought like, nah, this can't be.
yeah. Because Raw was in Boston, and also he was visiting Cena. Supposedly, he was visiting John Cena.
Okay, wow, that's funny.
Yeah, they had the Celtics game there the night before, and Bianca Belair, Montez, and Angelo Dawkins were there.
Do you saw the you saw that funny video of Liv Morgan at the Knicks game, and they were kind of like it looked like she was like annoyed, but she really wasn't. And I was watching a clip from the bump, and Liv Morgan was pretty much just explaining the whole reason because she was with a friend that works with the company. I forgot his name.
Yeah, there was one picture that came up that showed like him talking to her, and she seemed uninterested in it. They kind of made it seem as if it was some random guy trying to flirt with her, but
No,
in
that was
actuality, it
no.
was a guy who worked for WWE. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was talking about she was trying to pay attention to the game, and and just it was just people just making it more than what it is though. But
The Knicks are killing it right now, bro.
oh
That game they won on Sunday was really impressive.
yeah, what seating are you guys in now?
We're number five right now. We're number five.
Wow,
So if we play the Cavs in the first round, we might have a chance.
that will be a good series.
Yes, it would be a good series.
That will be a damn good. Oof, that would be a damn good series. That happens. Wow.
Yes, indeed. It's crazy they beat Boston. There were a lot of good games on Sunday. Sunday, now that I look back at it, the Celtics. I'm sorry, the Suns and Mavericks game was good, and also the Lakers and Warriors game was good.
Oh yeah, I was surprised that we were winning. We led pretty much throughout that whole game.
Yeah, Sunday's becoming the new day to watch basketball. And yeah, the Lakers are doing good right now. The Lakers are like number nine right now. They're in the play-in at least.
That we moved up to number 9, and here's the crazy thing about that: Kurt, no LeBron, 8. Anthony Davis has really been taking full charge now. I love Austin Reeves.
Ever since that trade they made with Westbrook and whatnot, yeah, it seems like it's done them wonders.
It helped out a lot. I am just concerned that D'Angelo Russell's still hurt. I'm just wondering when he's ever going to come back, though. But yeah, that trade that we made, that was a much needed trade, Kurt. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's paying off well.
Oh, it is. Paul Gasol's jersey being retired. I was emotional, man. You just the back of your mind, you wish that
Kobe
Kobe
could have
was
been there.
there. Yeah, I know. it was just funny because I was talking to my girlfriend about Paul Gasol, and she asked me, said, "Yeah, like how long has it's been?" Like, and I told her it was like 15 years when he was with the Lakers. Crazy.
Yeah, he first got traded there in 2008, like in the year they played Boston the first time.
Yeah, 15 years ago. 15 years ago, Kurt.
Yeah, I remember back then they would give him shit for being soft, and then he stepped his game up and proved them all wrong.
Hell yeah. Won 2 championships with the Lakers. And as Kobe said before in an interview back in 2018, 5 years ago, he would have not have won those titles without Paul.
Yeah, he even said that after the title in 2010. He's like, I couldn't have done it without the Spaniard.
Yeah, that is so damn true. Paul Gasol is one of those most underrated players on the Lakers on the offense, man. And I was so happy to see him have his jersey retired, man. And just like, I can't believe it's been 15 years, dude. That's just like, wow. And I miss him, dude.
Yeah, he was a great
Oh,
player. He was one of my favorite players in the league, actually, for a while.
mm-hmm.
He was a beast, bro. Yeah, he was definitely one of the X factors in them winning those titles.
Yes. Oh, yes. Do you think, I'm going to ask you this, do you think Derek Fisher's jersey should be retired?
Yeah, I think so. He was a part of both like Laker teams in like the last 2 decades that were successful, and he was a key part of those teams. I know he wasn't like an all-star, like a star, or like a superstar or anything, but he was still a valuable part of the team. So yeah, I think he should get his jersey retired.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good stuff to see that. And also, what was also good stuff were these A&E documentaries that have been coming out. And I watched the two most recent ones, including the one about Jake the Snake last week, and also the one about Chyna this week.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, bro, that Chyna one was really sad, man. Shit.
We got to watch that one. The Rivals documentary's been good. Sorry, but
Yeah, I watched the Rock and Cena one the other day.
mm.
Yeah, that promo was so crazy when Cena called out The Rock for having his lines written on his hand.
Jesus.
Yeah, because they were talking about that in the episode, and they mentioned that how like Rock was really pissed off afterwards, and like you could kind of feel the tension backstage after that whole segment, like to the point where they couldn't even be in the same room together. So yeah, they kind of like legit had some animosity between each other for a while up until the first Mania match they had.
Yeah. Oof. Crazy.
It's funny. Cena even admitted like that like the way he went about the whole Rock feud and like the way he tried to get it started, he was wrong for it.
Oh, for real?
Like, cause you remember that interview he did in 2008 where like he called out the Rock for not coming around and not coming back to visit and shit.
Yeah.
He feels like he was like mainly just doing that to tempt the Rock to come back. That was like a part of his plan the whole time. But he said, looking back at it now, he said he would have like told the Rock about that first before he did that.
I understand.
And yeah, even after the WrestleMania 28 match, you could see them hugging afterwards and they're talking to each other. And Cena was like, "Yo, hey, like, yo, I'm sorry for some of the things that went down, but I just like have a certain way I work, and it was nothing personal." So yeah, they started out like kind of having some tension and animosity, but as they worked together more, they kind of built more of a relationship.
That's good.
And Cena also admitted that he was wrong about like criticizing The Rock for like staying in Hollywood and not coming back to wrestle and all that. Like now that he's in Hollywood himself doing movies and stuff, he realized how hard it is to transition from one to the other.
Oh, yeah.
And he even said at the end of the interview that like he doesn't know, like he can't do this on the same level or at the same pace that he did before because like he's in his mid-40s now.
Yeah.
So it was like him saying that, and also what happened on Raw that's like giving me the vibe that he's probably going to retire soon,
Yep.
possibly at Mania. But yeah, back to the Chyna documentary, they get into like her childhood and how like she got into wrestling, and how like Triple H and Shawn Michaels saw her at a show once, and then they brought it to Vince's attention, and Vince initially rejected the idea, saying like, who's gonna believe a girl can beat up the guys and like a girl could be a bodyguard? But then they like really pitched it to him, and like wouldn't stop bothering him about it to the point where he just caved and said yes. And he's like, yo, if it doesn't work, it's your fault. And then they talk about like the debut she made when like she started like beating up Terry Runnels, like when she would like pick her up by the waist and like just swing her around. And they interviewed like Terry Runnels for that. They also interviewed Lita. They interviewed Triple H, Shawn, Road Dogg, Mick Foley, Jerry Lawler, her sister, her mom. Yeah, like how she started out as Triple H's bodyguard, and then initially she grew into the whole DX stuff, like where even though she was like the quiet character in the group, you could definitely feel her presence.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed that one time when she did the DX split when like she showed her ass.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Like, don't you think the people are sick and tired of seeing your asses every week? And Triple H is like, they like seeing our asses. What's your point? And she's like, well, if anybody's gonna show their ass from now on, it's gonna be me. And then she did it. And they talk about like her breaking ground, like being the first, woman in the Royal Rumble, the first woman in the King of the Ring tournament, and the first woman to win the Intercontinental title. They also interviewed Jeff Jarrett too. They were talking about like their feud and the Good Housekeeping match and shit.
Wow.
And how she won the women's title, and she was like became a big mainstream star. And then she was in Playboy. She was like on sitcoms and like pretty much all in the public eye. Yeah, bro, she was one of the faces of the company during that period. No lie.
No, absolutely.
I'm not saying she was as popular as Austin and Rock or an Undertaker, but she was definitely in that mix. She was definitely a recognizable character that even people who didn't watch wrestling knew who she was.
Mm.
She had good theme music too.
Oh yeah, she did. Love it.
And they talk about how she had the operation on her face to like make her face look a little different. And I will admit that she became more attractive as the years went on. I will admit that. I'm not really big on those kind of operations and stuff, but like I'm not gonna lie, she definitely looked attractive like in those later years, especially in 2000.
Just her presence alone was just like, wow, you know what I mean?
That was the thing. She had that presence, and like you would never seen like a girl who was like that, almost the same size as the dudes who would like rough them up and have her way with them.
Right.
Yeah, you had never seen that before up to that point, and yeah, she was that chick. And then obviously they get into what led to her leaving the company, how like the Triple H and Stephanie relationship came about, and then after that she kind of got pushed to working with the women instead of the men, and she was like very unhappy with that. To the point, like they talked about the WrestleMania 17 match with Ivory, like how they talk about how like she just pinned her nonchalantly, and like when she was in that women's division, she was kind of treating it as a joke, except for that one match she had with Lita.
Oh yeah, the Judgment Day.
Yeah, that was actually her last match. Yeah, that was Chyna's last match in
Wow.
WWE. I never saw her in WWE again after that. Yeah, she was. Yeah, Lita was even talking about how like her and Chyna were like really close, and even on the Broken Skull sessions last year, she mentioned how like Chyna would use Lita as an example about how she does like some of the girls in the locker room because Chyna would often get accused of like not liking the other girls in the locker room, and she'd be like, "That's not true. I like her," referring to Lita. So like she would kind of be like used as that example.
Mm.
Yeah, so they talk about like that, and then like Chyna ended up leaving because she wanted a $1 million guarantee, and like she wanted the same money as Austin and Rock, but they didn't feel like she was worth that much. They still gave her a pretty good offer, but not the one that she wanted, so she ended up leaving after that. And then obviously after that, like everything just like kind of went down a downward spiral with her relationship with X-Pac, the drug issues, and then the porn. And then when she was on the Surreal Life, I heard that was a mess too. They showed like clips of that. And like even a few times you would see her do interviews, like she definitely didn't look the same. And to be honest, I'll be honest, it was hard to watch. Like seeing that stuff in her later years was very sad to watch.
Damn. Yeah, and then yeah, just like a lot of her personal stuff overcame her, man. And just like when you hear about her passing, that was just a very just a punch in the gut, man. Because like here as a person, as any wrestler that you've grown up with, watching, growing up, and the next thing you know, when you hear their personal problems become an issue, and then and you have an unfortunate passing, and it hits hard.
Yeah, it sucked. I remember the day she died, and yeah, I was really upset when I got that news because I knew she had problems. I knew that she definitely wasn't doing well, and around that time she was actually doing a documentary about her life. And Mick Foley talked about like how when the last time he saw her, they were like the camera people were with her like filming the documentary, and he just said to himself like he really wishes like she wasn't documenting her life.
I feel it.
He got like a really bad vibe from it. And yeah, bro, just her like dying the way she did, and she was like in her 40s, like her mid 40s.
Mm.
It's just a heartbreak because like she's one of those few people that like you'll never get to see have like a real Hall of Fame induction where she could actually be alive for it.
Yeah, damn. Especially when DX got inducted. It just that one kind of like, man, like I was happy for them, but at the same time, it's like, it just does not feel right when China's not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they talked about that. They showed like the highlights of that when they did the Hall of Fame for DX, and they included her. And yeah, bro, she was a pioneer, man. I had never seen like a woman like her before.
I think she was that first one. She just had that. She leveled up that women's division, or just being not just the division, but just being a female wrestler for everybody. You know what I mean? She was that
That first
first
like one
one.
that like really got into the mix with the men, with like wrestling the men, having feuds with the men. They didn't really talk about that much about her storyline with Eddie Guerrero, which is a little disappointing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she was good as a character at that point. I think that was her best work as a character.
yeah.
But yeah, sad story, man. I mean, the Jake the Snake one was also sad, but like it was like stuff I already knew, like about his drug problems, about like his family life and all that. But it has like a happy ending where like he had the DDP yoga stuff that got him back on his feet and like he cleaned up his life and he has like a better relationship with his kids. They like show him going fishing like with his children who are obviously all grown up now, and like, they're having a good time hanging out. And actually, it just came out this weekend that Jake the Snake Roberts actually got back together with his ex-wife.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah, Cheryl Roberts, the one who was like a part of the Rick Rude feud. Yeah, he got back together with her.
Okay,
Yeah, good for him, man. I know he's older now, but he looks pretty good.
that's good.
Yeah, no, I think this Sunday's gonna be the Kane episode.
Oh, okay. I'll be looking forward to watch that.
Yeah, the Hogan and the Andre rivalries episode was also good. They had like Freddie Prinze Jr. as like the host of it, and like they had like a whole panel of people talking about it.
Mm.
And you know who they actually interviewed for that documentary? Who talked on it?
Ooh.
Sean Mooney.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, it was interesting getting his perspective of like things back then, but he was like really getting into how like Andre's like health deteriorated in the later years and how like it was pretty sad to watch.
Yeah.
And he even got emotional during that too.
Wow.
Yeah, Sean Mooney was good. I mean, Mean Gene was the shit, no doubt about it. Mean Gene's #1, but Sean Mooney was also dope.
He was. He was. Wow. Dang.
But yes, I don't know what Rivalries episode is coming up next, but I guess I'll find out soon enough. And also, Goldberg opened up recently saying like he made about WWE saying how he made a deal with the devil and that they owe him a retirement match.
What? No. Mm-mm.
I mean, technically they don't owe him a retirement match because like he's not under contract with them right now. But I mean, it would be cool to see. But to be honest with you, I'm not aching for it.
No.
And honestly, he should have retired after that last WrestleMania match with Brock. That would have been the perfect way for him to go out.
Yeah, you should have, but I just.
Money talk, but
But at
money
the same time,
talks.
we got to remember, money talks, man. Just like with Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels should have not have been in that match, though. But they offered so much money, and it's just.
Well, at least after that match turned out the way it did, he decided not to ever come back. So I'll give him that. And he stayed away for like a decade
Yeah.
or so before he eventually agreed to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Did you hear what Goldberg said about Rihanna a few weeks
Yeah.
ago? Like about how like her Super Bowl performance
You
was
told me.
disgusting.
Oh yeah. You told me.
Yeah,
You told me that was
it was
so
such
dumb.
a weird choice of words.
It is. I mean, you don't have to like the show, but to say that is just like, come on, you're over pushing it. Like, okay, so they're not. It does not just go for Goldberg. This goes for anybody else. I mean, they may not have like the certain choice of musicians or type of music that you want to listen to, but you don't have to freaking bash it. Like, people tend to forget that after that incident between Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson at Super Bowl 38 back in 2004, the NFL toned down their halftime shows when it came to performers. They had guys like Paul McCarthy. I mean, I had nothing against Paul McCarthy. I love the Beatles, but they had Paul McCarthy. They had like Bruce Springsteen. Like, these are people who who are these guys? But I didn't like shit on it. You know what I mean? So it's just people. They're just very picky, and it just goes to show that you can't please everybody.
People take the Super Bowl halftime show shit so seriously. I'm like, bro, it's not that deep.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, you could always change the channel during halftime. I mean, that's what I usually do.
I mean, do the same thing they did back in '99. They have the halftime heat. Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Goldberg saying this shit about Rihanna, calling her disgusting, is like giving me vibes that he's gonna start a new right to censor stable.
Lord Jesus.
Oh god! Imagine Goldberg in that shirt and tie.
Oh my God.
Shoot, speaking of, yeah, I think I sent you that link for that movie the other day. That movie Falling Down that I called the best movie of '93.
You know what's funny? So a long time ago, years ago, my dad had Super Bowl 27 recorded, and this was in '93. And that falling
Yeah. The
down,
one Michael Jackson performed at. The one Michael
yes,
Jackson performed at,
yes,
right?
yes. Um, I found out about that movie from one of the commercials. That movie was one of the commercials.
Yeah, it came out a month after that. It came out in February of '93. The
Yeah,
anniversary of it was just last week.
yeah, crazy.
Great ass movie, man. That movie is a freaking masterpiece.
Wow.
and very relatable to modern times.
I'll watch it.
You should watch it. It gives you like a definitely good insight into LA, like different parts of LA, because and also the movie only takes place over the course of one day.
Are you serious?
For some reason, LA has a thing with movies that take place over the course of a day, like that one, Friday, also Training Day.
Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Michael Douglas's character is like stuck in traffic, and then like his AC stops working, and then he just fucking just gets out of his car and leaves, and just walks out of his car in the middle of traffic, and the guy and the people in traffic are like, "Hey, where are you going?" And he's like, "I'm going home." And he walks through like different parts of LA, like gang territory and the rich neighborhoods, all the way to get to Venice, because that's where his wife and kid live, and it's his daughter's birthday. But the thing is, his wife has a restraining order against him because like he's like a mental case. He has a lot of issues. He has a lot of like violent tendencies. So she put a restraining order against him. So throughout the day, he's just like walking through LA and like calling her, saying, "I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home." And throughout the day, he gets into multiple different incidents where like he's trying to get change for $1 at like the convenience store, but the guy's like saying, "You gotta buy something first." And then when he tries to buy something, the guy's like saying, it's this much money." He's like saying, "But if I pay for this, I'm not gonna have enough change to make the phone call." And he's like, "All right, tough shit." And then he takes the guy's baseball bat and just starts damaging the store. And then after all that, he actually just pays for the soda and
Are you
leaves.
serious? Well, don't spoil it for me though, because I want to see
There's
this.
only one
So
scene, but like just throughout the movie, he's like walking through LA, and as the movie goes on, he just like dives deeper and deeper into madness, and he just goes even crazier, and he like really gets to a point where he can't turn back, which I won't give away. And also, Robert Duvall is a police officer in the movie who's actually retiring. It's his last day on the job, and then this case kind of gets put into his lap and goes from there.
gotcha.
There's one classic scene you probably know from it where like he's at the fast food place and he wants to order breakfast, and then they say like, "No, we stop serving breakfast at 11:30," and it's like 11:35 when he gets there, and then he fucking causes the whole scene.
Just like Big Daddy.
No, this is to the point where he pulls out a gun.
I know though, but just the whole,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, yeah, before we get out, I just wanted to mention that Jeff Hardy's DUI case was dismissed, and he was sentenced to 38 days in jail with some credit for time already served, and he's serving a couple years of probation, and his license is suspended, revoked for 10 years.
Damn, 10 years.
Yeah. In all honesty, he got off easy. I mean, it sucks to not have his license for that amount of time, but in all honesty, he got off easy.
I know though, but 10 years revoked, man.
I don't know when he's ever going to come back to AEW, but I just hope he gets his shit together. I really hope for his sake and the people around him he gets his shit together.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so yeah, I think we've said what we needed to say tonight. So we are on the road to WrestleMania, 3.5 weeks away. I will be going to see Creed 3 tomorrow. Cannot wait for that shit.
I'll be seeing it on Saturday.
Too bad Stallone's not going to be in it though.
It's because of the rights. It's a legal rights between him and Irvin. I forgot the producer's name of Rocky.
Steven Irvin, I think his name is.
I think so. Yeah, Irvin something though, but it's just them two are butting heads with each other, rights over the movie. That's why, over the franchise. So that's the reason why.
I actually heard he was still a producer on it though, even though he was not in it.
Who?
Stallone. Other than the Rocky movies, the only Stallone movies I like are Copland and Cliffhanger. And no, I didn't like Demolition Man.
No. I was about to say Rambo. I'll say Rambo.
First one's cool. I heard the second one's actually the best one out of them, but then I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I actually heard Kreese is in it. I actually heard Kreese is in Rambo too. The guy who plays Kreese.
Oh wow. Okay.
Good shit. All right. So for John Randall, this is Kirk Cadet for another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Feel free to follow us on our social media page, on our Instagram page, as well as our separate pages.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, that link tree is on there, man. The link tree is on both our Instagram and Twitter. Like I said, follow us on Twitter at The Champs Clash on Twitter, and follow us on champs.clash on Instagram.
Yes, guys, and we will be back next week. Hope you guys enjoy the stuff in the road to WrestleMania and everything in between, and hope you guys have a good one. Take care.